Hello and welcome to Gank
Gank That Drank.
A supernatural drinking game podcast. It's the podcast where we make up drinking game rules for our favorite episodes of the handsome and hardworking TV show Supernatural. And then we recap the episode for you. We talk about how the rules played out, and then we tell you what's up next for the next episode of Gank That Drank.
So
But
you
who
can play
are
along
we?
at home.
Well, yeah, you can.
Yeah. Who
And
are
we
we,
hope
Krissy?
you do. Well, who are you?
Oh, I'm Nate McWhortor of the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona, USA.
And I'm Krissy Lenz of the Neighborhood Comedy Theater of downtown Mesa, Arizona. And we are so excited to have a very, very fun episode for you tonight. Season 7, Episode 8. Time for a wedding.
Yeah. Wedding bells and Sammy's wedding bells.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome. There was not the best reception though. I'm not gonna lie. Very little dancing.
Yeah.
DJ was a little lame, but the ceremony was beautiful.
Twas short and sweet. Okay, here are the drinking game rules we played along with. Anytime someone calls Sam baby bro, take a drink. Take a drink for a cake explosion. Take a drink anytime Sam gets all spelly, so the spell starts wearing off on him. Take a drink if someone dies. Take a drink for an Oz reference. Take a drink for demon eyes. Take a drink for a car that's not baby. Take a drink anytime Garth does Garth. Take a drink if they say gank. Take a drink for a BM scene. And finally, take a drink for a Crowley monologue.
Should be a fun one.
Those are rules that we played with. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Are we ready to hop in?
I'm ready.
Okay, let me take a big drink.
Big old drink. Let me get one too.
All right. Then, what are we doing? We're meeting Becky Rosen and all of the different times that she's popped up in the history of Supernatural, starting with Season 5, Episode 1, Sympathy for the Devil, where Chuck contacts Becky and gets her to take a message to Sam and Dean about his latest prophecy. She comes back in Season 5, Episode 9, The Real Ghostbusters, where she tricks the boys into going to a supernatural convention. By the way, that's going to be the next one that I do.
Okay, I was hoping so, because I love that episode.
She does pop up in Season 5, Episode 10, Abandon All Hope, as her information leads to Sam and Dean finding the cult. And then in Season 5, Episode 22, she pops up in Swan Song. But just as a mention.
Man, she's in this a lot. And I didn't realize that she had been in it that much leading into this episode. I was like, oh yeah, she's popped up like maybe once or twice.
We don't see her all through Season 6, and then she comes back in Season 7, in this episode, Season 7, Episode 8, with a vengeance. But we don't just get Becky in this beginning recap. We also get a lot of remembrances of Dean killing Sam's friend Amy, who was a monster who needed to eat like livers or spleens or something like that, or hearts, and she needed to feed them to her son. And she was trying to be ethical about it, and Sam approved, but Dean didn't and killed her anyway.
Yeah, that was a hard arc to get through.
It was, because I think Dean was absolutely wrong.
I
don't think he should have killed her.
Dean of later seasons would realize and admit that he was wrong, and that he probably would have a different point of view as he got older. I think that
as his older self. Yeah.
Yeah, as his older self. Yeah. So yeah, I remember that being, yeah, whew, that's a hard one.
That was a tough one. Yeah, for sure. And now we're in Vegas. Dean is hitting on a waitress at a strip club. He's talking about how things with Sam have been bad, but they're starting to get a little bit better. But during the Vegas week, Sam decided to go on a granola munching solo hike. So Sam and Dean are doing their annual Vegas pilgrimage, but not together.
Dean hates more than health. Like,
yes,
Dean it's like his the Ron Swanson in him, is he's like, everyone should just be able to clog all their arteries with cheese and beef and never exercise unless they want to, but like it's such a weird thing to have a thing about, right? I think it is.
He hates vegetables. He hates smoothies.
Like
he
vegan
doesn't like
people
podcasts.
and foods. Yeah, podcast. Yeah.
Yep. So he gets a call from Sam asking him if he has the suit and to meet him at a certain place. Lo and behold, this is a wedding chapel. Dean goes in wary. He's got his gun out. But Sammy is happy and he's flustered and he's sort of fitzing around and puttering around. And he's like, Dean's like, okay, what are we? Are we wedding crashers? Are we going after a siren? And Sammy's just like, nope. Life is short, so I'll make this shorter. I'm in love and I'm getting married. Bada boom, here comes the bride. Guess who? It's Becky Rosen. Becky. Then we see it's season 7, time for a wedding, exploding cake. Next thing you know, we are post-wedding. Sam is trying to explain himself. He's like, look, what do you want to know? We met, we ate, we talked, and we fell in love. She's not a monster. He's done all the tests on her to make sure that she's not a skin changer or a demon or a ghost or anything like that. And she says that she's going into this with open eyes because she understands that life as the wife of a hunter is dangerous. And apparently she's picking up the check because she pays for the old wedding.
Yeah. Which I love, just comes out like it's a check at a restaurant. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you got to pay the bill for your wedding.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
They just give it to you. But I guess it's Vegas, so it's probably like one of those like minute chapels, yeah?
Yeah, you probably get a 30-minute window.
Yeah, you probably does come in one of those jackets.
Mm-hmm. So Sammy's like, look, why don't you try and get a little bit supportive? Find us in Delaware, which, by the way, from Vegas to Delaware, do we think they drove?
Oh my God. That was one of my biggest things in this. I was like, just like casually like, we're just going to drive to Delaware. Like they were in Atlantic City and not Vegas.
But they were definitely in Vegas.
Yes, they were in Vegas. So, and then it's like the next day in Delaware. Like, nope. Nope.
But do we think that Sammy doesn't like to fly either? Or is it just Dean?
It's got to be both of them. I don't know.
Otherwise, I'd get pretty frustrated if I was Sam. But yeah, we have to assume that they all drove separately to Delaware. Yikes.
Which means that Becky drove from Delaware to Vegas to begin with.
Yeah. Which is banana pants.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, she is a little banana pants.
Yeah. But Sammy's like, look, wrap your dome around it. Come see us in Delaware. We're going to get settled. When you're ready to accept my new bride, come and find us. So I guess they drive to Delaware. Next thing we know, we're in Delaware, and Becky has to make a pit stop at her 10-year high school reunion. Which apparently is like, I don't know, like whenever TV shows and movies show high school reunions, it's never ever like real ones. You know?
I mean, I've never been to one, like, so I don't know.
This is like days before the thing, and she's already there, like on site taking
prepping.
RSVPs.
Yeah, it was very weird, and for her to be like, "We're making," so she was like, "We're making a pit stop," and he's like, "Oh, but we just ate or something," or I don't know, is what Sam said, and I'm like,
We
"Are
already
you
ate.
guys?" They've been like living in Delaware for a minute now, or like a week or so. Like they're already like into
I
daily
assume they just
life.
drove in. Yeah.
They just drove in, and like we just drove from Vegas to Delaware. But real quick before I go home, let me stop in and RSVP for my reunion. It was
Yeah.
that whole sequence just threw me off. Like
It's a little bit
it,
baffling because why would they
man,
be taking RSVPs on site?
this is why we need writers, people.
Yeah. The AI
To
can't solve
fix.
this. Anywho, the girl who is accepting the on-site walk-up RSVPs is like, "Oh my god, Becky Rosen, yucky, Becky." It's like, "Oh, you're so rude. No wonder they're letting you take the RSVPs." But she bumps into Guy, her guest star for this episode, who is
One of our
Leslie
guest
Odom
stars for this episode.
Jr. Oh, by the way, I
Yes.
should say that the actress who plays Becky is named Emily Perkins, and she does a great job.
Yes, absolutely. Always does.
But we get Leslie
Kudos,
Odom
Emily.
Jr. as Guy, who is her friend, the Wiccan, and he reacts a tiny bit when he sees Sam. But no, he's an event planner who's also a Wiccan on the side, and he gives her a potion. So now we know. Now we know Sam is being roofied.
I just want to say, as I think the world of Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki and DJ Qualls and everybody who's in Super. Leslie Odom Jr. is acting circles around everybody at every moment. He
It's
is on
almost like
screen.
it's the same thing when
He is so
Sterling.
magnetic. Yeah, it's just like Sterling. Yeah.
What is his name? Sterling K. Brown.
Yes. Yes. Just like Sterling K. Brown, he's very magnetic, but like he's so he just like pops off the screen and like obviously like you have the whole Hamilton thing, but then his like guest appearance in Abbott Elementary, he's so vivacious and just like I just think on television he just looks so great, and he
Does.
has such an energy like that just other people don't have. I feel like he's almost in like 3D and everyone else is just in 2D on the TV at like all times. It's just incredible. And even like just watching this, when you're like, okay, this is just like a bit role on Supernatural, a CW show, like he's giving everything and then some, and it's like it stands out. It's
I
crazy.
agree.
All right, sorry, Leslie Odom Jr.
No, that's okay. I think that, but I think that Becky's performance, the actress who plays Becky, her performance is very understated.
Yeah.
And she's great.
Yeah,
But I
and
agree
her
that
eyes, like her,
Leslie
like
Odom
everything
Jr.
she
is a
can
real
tell with
scene
her
stealer.
eyes. Yes, and she gives so many great looks. Like, yeah, no, but they're and then yeah, I mean, just great guest star episode in general. This is.
Yep, it is. So meanwhile, Dean is at a little coffee shop and he sees in the paper that a recent lotto winner has been killed in a car crash. What's going on in this town? People's dreams are coming through and then they're getting killed. Oh, it might be something we need to investigate. Meanwhile, at a romantic dinner, Sam does get a little bit spelly. He starts to get a little like, woo,
Yep.
woo. Becky, what am I doing here? She doses him again. We're celebrating, dear. Don't you remember? And he's like, yes. Everything's better now that I'm with you. Oh, man. She must feel really, really low to be doing this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a guy gets ganked at a ballpark, and we learn that he went from the bench to the majors.
Yeah.
And so his
The
dream came
man
true, and then he got
doing
ganked.
batting practice by himself in the ballpark, in like a minor league ballpark now, even though he's supposedly in the majors, in jeans. He's wearing jeans. It was literally like they pulled a PA off the side of the set and we're like, okay, just hit some balls and then you're gonna die and you're in the show now. You shouldn't know. They wouldn't be if he had just made it to the majors. Oh, or that he was that bad of it. Like he must have been like a beer league softball player and then made it to the majors or something.
Well, yeah, that's what demon deals are for.
It's just so many things in this. Yeah.
So Dean shows up at Becky's with a waffle maker and he's like, hey, here's me being supportive. Here's a waffle maker. It's nonstick. But listen, there's a case. Becky's already on top of it. She's like, 10 years is too late or is too little for the 10 years for a demon deal isn't adding up. But we can't yet connect the VIX. And Dean is like, what? And he's like, look,
a whole board.
They've got a really cute murder board. It's great.
Yeah,
and he's like, look,
one of the things on which is a baseball, and it just gives the dimensions of a baseball is all that it is.
Yep.
I loved it.
It's very thorough. But Dean is trying to communicate to them. He's like, look, Becky's in danger because people whose dreams are coming true are having these terrible accidents, and you're her dream. And Sam is very mean. He's like, look, I'm moving on, Dean, and I don't need you anymore. Uh-oh. What's Dean going to do? Well, he's going to call for a backup hunter. That's what he's going to do because Bobby can't make it out. But before we get to our new backup hunter, Sammy and Becky have his and hers fake IDs. They go investigate a guy who just recently became a CEO. Meanwhile, Becky has written in this notebook over and over, Sam loves Becky, Sam loves Becky, Sam loves Becky. And he sees it, and for a second you think that they're gonna have a little moment, but he's like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Beautiful. At a restaurant, Dean meets Garth. This is the first time we meet Garth. Oh, Marmaduke, you so crazy.
I said that line along with when, like, yeah. Oh, Marmaduke.
Sorry, I was taking a drink.
No, take the drink. We are ganking drinks.
So they go to the CEO's office. Dean is with Garth. Sam is with Becky. And Becky and Sam don't think there's anything up with the CEO, but, of course, Dean and Garth have to look into it. And it's a really funny scene where Dean is just sort of asking straightforward questions. So, what about you made them want to give you the job, even though there are more qualified people ahead of you? And Garth is like, oh, we're not implying that you did any kind of corporate espionage or sabotage. We just think you possibly got here through nefarious means.
Black magic, hoodoo.
Black magic, hoodoo, that sort of thing. The dude's wife is there, and she's being a real bee on wheels. So we get the sense immediately that it's not his dream. And he even says, this isn't my dream. I don't want this job. I'm going to resign. But my wife has never been happier. So they go chase her down. They try to save her, and Dean is like very threatening sounding. He's like, look, you're going to have a terrible accident unless you come clean and tell us what you did to get him elected CEO. And she's like, pardon me, you're threatening me, sir. And then they're about to drop a chandelier on her nog. And Dean and Garth save her, and then she just spills. She immediately spills. Yeah. She's like, look, I was at a restaurant with my girlfriends. I was bitching about my husband's job, and this guy says he'll trade me my soul to make my husband CEO. Isn't that ridiculous? Who has a soul? Nobody has a soul. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And Sam and Dean are like, well, whoopsie doodles. You're going to lose your soul. So she made a demon deal, but they still can't figure out why the timeline is so short. So Garth steps in and saves the day, and he's like, look, you go stay with my cousin while we sort this out. You'll be living with a triracial paraplegic sniper until this all blows over.
I missed
Garth
that.
has a colorful life. Meanwhile, Becky and Sam are discussing the case. Sam starts to get a little spelly. The spell is wearing off, but lo and behold, she spilled her elixir. What? Why would you leave something as important as that in your purse? Stuff in your purse is gonna spill, yucky Becky. So she bonks him over the head with the waffle iron. She takes him up to the cabin. They're supposed to go on a romantic getaway to her family's cabin up in Delaware, I guess. And she's got him all hogtied to the bed. She calls Guy, I need elixir, and is it just me, but is this wearing off faster and faster? We haven't even consummated our marriage because we're taking it slow because true love is forever. Which I thought was funny, and I appreciated. You know what? I appreciated them including the information that Becky is not a villain. She's not here to take advantage of Sam in that way.
No.
She really truly
Correct.
believes that they're going to be in love. So I appreciated that.
Yeah,
I was
that's
glad
all
that
she
they
really
included
wants.
it.
That's the only thing. Yes, I agree.
But Sam overheard this whole thing and he's like, you roofied me. And she goes, I used a social lubricant. And Guy told me it wouldn't really work unless you were really in love with me deep down. And he gets mad at her. Deep down, she suggests. No. Sam is immediately like, look, there's not two things happening in this town. There's not demon deals coming through true, and then also your friend is giving you love potions. That's too much of a coincidence. Guy is the creep. And she's like, no, he's not. He's a Wiccan. There's a great moment where she stuffs a sock in his mouth and you hear him go, ooh. And she goes, I love you too. Yeah. Cut to the reunion. Finally, Guy is like, all right, let's have a seat. Let's talk price. And she's like, what do you mean? And he says, look, you are so very Becky. You're so pathetic that it stops being cute and then it loops back around and starts becoming cute again. He reveals that he's a crossroads demon, and yes, he will take her immortal soul, but she's special. She's not like the other girls. He's going to give her 25 years of happiness with Sam. Meanwhile, and it's like, she should be putting together immediately that everybody who's making demon deals in this town is getting ganked.
Is dying. Yeah. She doesn't,
but
though.
She's very tempted at 25 years with Sam Winchester.
Who wouldn't be?
I would be. I would be. Dean and Garth are trying to track down Sam. They're not at Becky's house, but he sees a picture of her at a cabin as a little girl holding up a fish.
She must be there.
She must be there. He takes the pictures out and the address is written on the back. What?
Of course.
It's like he has the lucky rabbit's foot from Bad Day at Black Rock, because what are the odds of that? I guess the writers were just like, we got to speed through this. We got too much to do. We got to get this episode over with.
It's what makes what's the one we just did? Where they lose all their power. Hero's Journey, also so funny, is that yes, these are the things that always happen to them, are these lucky, fortuitous things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so silly stuff. We go back to the cabin and we have a BM scene. Take a drink. Becky wants to talk with Sam. She lays her head gently down on his chest and says, I know I'm a loser. I just want someone to love me for me, and I want you, and this is the only way. So we cut back to the reunion. We think, of course, Becky is going to go for this. Guy is there. Bex, you missed the party. Which, like, she went to all this trouble to have Sam to show off at the reunion.
Right.
And she missed the dang reunion. Take him to the reunion. At least get that in. Okay, I'm in, she says, but ha ha ha, she traps him in a demon trap.
Yeah.
Sam and Dean are there. How are you working these deals? And he's like, look, technically you get 10 years if you make a deal with the Crossroad Demon, but accidents happen. But he doesn't get his hands dirty. That's why you need a capable intern who shows up and smashes the guys. A fight ensues. Sam is being choked by Jackson, the intern. Leslie Odom Jr. is choking Dean. Garth gets bopped on the head. Sam is getting force choked by the intern. Becky picks up the demon knife and kills Jackson, the deadly intern. Dean gets the knife and gets the drop on Leslie Odom Jr. So now we're on top again. He's like, how many deals do you got going in this town? And Leslie Odom Jr. reveals that he's got 15 different deals on the go. What? Oh, he also refers to him as Madoff, which I thought was pretty cute.
Oh, really? Oh, yes.
Yeah, he says, how many deals you got going in this town, Madoff?
Madoff, yeah.
15. And then he's like, oh, crap. And Dean's like, yeah, you're darn right, oh, crap. You're in a world of hurt. And then they hear, hello, boys.
Oh,
yay! Then
everyone
we get
cheers.
everyone cheers because Crowley's here. Becky even knows who he is. You're Crowley. And he gives us a monologue about not only that the boys haven't been dealing with any demons lately because he's been keeping them away so that the boys can fight the Leviathans, because Crowley hates the Leviathans and he wants the boys to take care of the Leviathans, so he's been keeping demons off the radar. But he says to Leslie Odom Jr., look, this is not Wall Street. We've got a little something called integrity. We've got consumer confidence to think about. If we make deals and then cancel them and then call them in right away, we're gonna lose consumer confidence. People will stop dealing with us, and then what will we do? I thought it was really just a brilliant, hilarious turn.
Yes.
But one thing that I found kind of
go
ahead.
Literally airing. Sorry, this episode aired like literally in the height of Occupy Wall Street. By the way.
Oh, nice.
So a little social commentary going on here. Obviously written a little before that, but yeah, all of a sudden, it made me think like, wait, when was this? This is like just post market crash and everything. A couple years after that, and so anyway. I love that line though, and I just love the whole Crowley is like, hell is a business. Like,
yep.
When we later see like Lucifer running hell or like whoever else, it's like more just about like torture and like punishing people. But for Crowley, it's like he's somehow learned how to monetize hell. We don't quite know how.
And it's just like when you see Crowley's hell, and it's just like people waiting in line. And he's like, this is hell. It's not, there's people torturing people in some parts of hell, but like most of hell is just you waiting in line.
Which is hell.
Yeah. It's true.
Would say.
It's the hell of the mundane. It's wonderful. So Crowley is like, hand him over. I'll cancel all his deals. And I'll take care of him myself. And they're like, well, all right. Sounds good.
Sweet.
Boop. He disappears.
Bad guy we trust. Yeah.
Garth wakes up and he's like, what did I miss? Garth is like a bit of a goober in this episode, unfortunately, and he's not the party animal he becomes.
Quite know what to do with Garth is what I feel like. I feel like they're like, we need a side character, maybe we'll bring him back. Let's like,
thank goodness they figured it out eventually.
Yeah, but they really gave him a great arc considering this is the start.
So Becky and Sam annul the marriage. She's like, it wasn't all bad, was it? And Sam's like, look, someday you're going to find someone who loves you for you. But spoiler alert, it's not me. It's a nice, what I would say, a BM scene, a boy melodrama scene between Becky and Sam. Then we get a nice BM scene with Garth. where Dean says goodbye to Garth and they hug it out.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the BM scene with Sam and Dean, where Sam is like, "Look, I know I said some things, and I'm sorry." It's so good. And that's time for a wedding.
Yay! Fun episode.
I love this
Super
episode.
Fun episode. I do too. I think it's great. Obvious plot holes aside, but that's supernatural. And yeah, I think again, like Leslie Odom Jr., absolutely stunning in it. DJ Qualls and Emily Perkins, both wonderful in it. I think you get a great Crowley monologue, and like him kind of like Crowley kind of almost at the peak before, I don't know, I don't want to say peak because I think there's a lot of peak Crowley in there, but
oh yeah, there's a lot
really
of peak
when
Crowley.
When Mark Sheppard is really feeling it, and they're really writing him really fun. So
Hello,
I think that they're still writing him kind of scary, like he's not part of the team necessarily yet, but this is one of those moments where he kind of sort of is like, oh yeah, okay, maybe we're just working with him a lot more than we're fighting against him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just really, I think it's a super, super fun episode that introduces a great side character, continues the story of another a couple side characters, I guess, and then we get a one-time appearance from a wonderful, wonderful actor. So it has everything you could want.
It does. But how did our drinking game rules play out?
How did they turn out? I'm very interested. I'm wondering if I just missed stuff. I think I missed
most
stuff,
of my rules only happen once.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
so Baby Bro.
So Baby Bro, I only got once.
I got twice.
Okay.
But I think I maybe was wrong because the third time I watched it, I was like, oh, I think she only says it once. I thought she said it twice. CAKESPLOSION happens once.
Yep.
Sam gets Spelly twice.
Yep, that's what I got.
Someone dies twice.
Someone dies.
Yep. One Oz reference.
One Oz reference. One demonize.
One demonize. 3 not babies.
I got 4.
Okay.
But I maybe counted one where they just get into the car and maybe weren't driving it or something.
Oh, like at the end?
Yeah, I think maybe at the end I counted one.
Okay. I gave 5 to Garth Does Garth. Ooh, Marmaduke,
yeah,
you
I had
crazy.
4. Yeah, I had 4. There's probably a 5th one I could have thrown in there for sure.
I counted the hug at the end for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was for sure when I counted.
They say gank once.
Yep.
I got 3 BM scenes, boy melodrama scenes.
Okay, so do I.
One with Becky, one with Garth, and one with Sam.
Actually, oh no, I have 4. I counted the
the
Dean
bedroom
and
scene?
Sam at the beginning when they're talking about when like it's like the wedding or whatever, and even though it's like Sam under the potion or whatever, it was still like, you know, little boy melodrama with when she leaves the two of them alone in the chapel and they're talking. I counted that as a BM scene.
Oh, so you got 4?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Because then we had the ones we talked about towards the end there.
One Crowley monologue.
Yep.
Okay. Then we did good. Yeah, there weren't a lot of drinking game rules in that episode, but I just think it's such a fun episode.
No, it's a great episode. I think it was a wonderful choice.
Excellent. So speaking of choice, what is happening next?
Next, we are traveling literally we're not too far back in time. Only a few episodes back from where we just were. Season 6, episode 18, Frontierland is going to be our next episode.
I love it. A time travel episode.
a time travel episode, and our rules are going to be, at least for now, and I'm going to reserve the right to maybe add one on the recording on the next one, but we're drinking when we got some research music or montage of people doing some research. Dean either geeks out or is disappointed.
Okay.
Anytime someone's tipping a hat, anytime someone dies, anytime we see some swinging doors. We're drinking for the word gank, as always.
Yay.
We're doing a shot for Walker, Texas Ranger. And then we're sipping for every pop culture reference you can catch, because there's just so many of them that I couldn't not put pop culture reference in there, because there's a billion of them. But don't like full on drink, just do some sips.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the rules for Frontierland Season 6, Episode 18.
All right. So join us on the next episode when we'll be recapping. Nate will be recapping Frontierland. We'll be telling you how those rules played out, maybe adding some more rules. We're super excited. Nate, where can people find us if they want to see us in real life?
You can find us in real life at 214 West Main Street in downtown Mesa, Arizona, or you can go to nctphoenix.com for details, so you don't have to remember the address or write it down or anything. But nctphoenix.com is easy to remember, so remember it and go to it. And we're there Fridays, Saturday nights at 7:30 doing improv shows, and also other things all throughout the week of other stuff. Last night there was a showcase. That doesn't mean anything to you listening to this like weeks and weeks in the future, but from when we're recording this, Krissy and I were working a student showcase the night before this, so it was a fun time. There's all sorts of fun times happening at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater. Come check us out.
It's true. Come check us out, please, and thank you. And, you know, while you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things, you know, the family business, please keep the Gank That Drank motto in mind. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Party on, dudes.